Peace, family. A few days ago, I did a video where I was talking about Jane Elliott. And yes, I did call her an agent of the devil. And I know a lot of people, didn't understand that. I caught some flack about it, saying that Jane Elliott has been a champion for black people for years. But has she really? Even Jane Elliott, she did not say that she said that black people do not need reparations. That right there tells me that you're not for the people, or for our people. Secondly, this tells me that the state and condition that black people are in now, due to slavery, leaves us vulnerable to whoever else want to enslave people in the future. Oh, but Jonathan, ain't nobody's going. Let me explain. The reason why reparations is needed is because it is a process that's to prevent these events from happening again. If you had a car and the weather conditions caused you to get into an accident and you took your vehicle to a reparation shop, they will prepare your vehicle to the point that if these same weather conditions reoccurred, you'd be better prepared for it. So the ability, you very seldom see a person have an accident in the same conditions, the same time, the same events twice. And so with reparations would prevent the tragic events that took place that put us in need for reparations. The enslavement of our people separated us from our language, our culture, our heritage, our spirituality, our social norms. And through the slavery period, without these essential needs for our people, for our society, they were able to inject jealousy and envy, anger and distrust in our people. And as you see today, these afflictions still bother us. They still hinder us. We don't work amongst each other. We don't build together. We don't collaborate. You have white people today who have received economic, political, and judicial advantages over our people because of slavery. And they've had this money building over decades. We need a systemic way to repair our people, and not just financial. Because if you crash your car around a pole and then the mechanic just handed you some money, your car is not only damaged, it wasn't prepared for the event, which caused an accident in the first place, and when you leave out, your car is still susceptible to more damage. Reparations is going to repair you to a point that these same events and conditions will not happen to you again. So let's say today somebody want to enslave people to build or clear a field or whatever. By black people not having their own way to sustain their own way of life, put food on their own table, provide for a roof over their head, there are political paths, economic paths, industrial paths that we own and control none of. So if you want to provide for your family, if you want to provide for yourself, your children, you're going to have to do something for somebody else. And without an alternative, they can pay you nothing or slave wages to get you to do it. You won't have the ability to systemically say no. No, because I own my own stores. No, because I live in a self-determined environment. No, because we work collectively. I don't need you. I don't need nobody to provide these essential needs for us. We provide it for ourselves. When Jane Elliott say that black people don't need reparations, and you see the conditions of black people today still suffering from these afflictions, Jane Elliott was a young woman when she first started this campaign. And now she's old and wrinkled, and she's still saying that black people don't need reparations. She's still saying all we got to do is learn that there's only one race, the human race. Why haven't Jane Elliott's message changed? White people control the economics, the politics, the businesses, the industries, the judicial. If white people were to come to realize, well, everything Jane Elliott said is the truth, they got the ability right now to make black lives better. All they got to do is just be equal and fair in the distribution of all these entities. But they haven't. My message to my people has always been coming together up under mandated values and principles that's going to guide us through every endeavor that we strive for. Building our own essential businesses, industries, and institutions to safeguard and promote our own way of life, so we can live in a predetermined environment. You would not want the people who enslaved your ancestors in charge of the education of your children, the food you eat, the health care that you depend on, to finance your own your ambitions, to be the judge and jury over your courts. You wouldn't want the same people that enslaved your people for 300 years to decide whether you're guilty or innocent. It goes against all these entities that I just mentioned. It goes against white people's interests to treat you fairly. It threatens their economics. It threatens their social status. It threatens them politically. What's their motivation to do it? There is none. This is why I said we need to develop our own. That's reparations. None of these so-called enlightened white people, not the Jane Elliott, not the Jolly Roger Goodfellow, whatever his name is, none of these white so-called liberators for white people, for black people, are going to tell you this. Jane Elliott's message should have changed a long time ago. Yes, I know I said we were all one and blah, 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 but that was 30 years ago, and you're still saying the same thing. If black people stay in this condition, my message can be 100 years old, and there would be no need for my message to change. From building your own, and then 50 years later, we still struggling socially, economically, politically. My message will still be the same. Build your own. It's not going to change. So until we get our mindset wrapped around that, it's not going to change, because as we see right now, white people are not going to change it. I'm in this video here, and if you like this message, please share it. And if you like this pressure that I put on our oppressor, put a little pressure on that follow, subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next message. Ashe.